Viewer discretion.
If you're listening to this, you are the resistance.
Hey everybody, it's dafobra, and welcome to part 2 of this Sena 10C review. We left off with the unboxing and the installation, so now my Sena 10C is on the side of my Shoei RF 1100. And as I said in the first video, it's very Sena-ish in that it has a lot of the same controls that the Sena family of products has, like an SMH10 or a 20S. Here's the familiar jog dial. Here's the familiar phone button. And then also the jog dial is that rotate and push in. It has this one button up here. When I was unboxing, I said I didn't know what it was. It's the camera. What's cool about this, the design that they did, is that the camera and the communicator, although they're in one, they do function separately, so that you can use the communicator without the camera, turn the camera on, and then shut it off. So we'll talk about how to turn the unit on. Just like every other Sena product, you press and hold the jog dial and the phone button, hold it in for a couple seconds until you hear the hello.
Hello.
Okay. I do have it Bluetooth to my phone. That just connected to the phone. Bluetoothing is exactly the same. You go into your whatever settings and discover. On my iPhone, I have to discover it and then connect to it, and then it reconnects automatically. Intercom, I am not connected to anybody right now, but simply push in 1, 2, or 3, and it will connect to whatever intercom. Intercom pairing mode is the same thing. You press and hold until it goes into the modes. You know, there are a lot of features on here that kind of mirror the 20S, so I don't want to be too redundant on how to use them. Incidentally, this is what they're considering the antenna, and I like that. I wish they'd put that into the 20S. I always have my 20S antenna straight up, and I kind of like the way this looks streamlined. I've never used the FM radio, so I'm not going to get into that. It really doesn't really appeal to me at all. Here is the all-important camera button. And when you press the camera button, camera turns on and the LED status changes to a green. Now it's back on. So right now the camera is ready to go. If you want to take a quick snapshot picture, you just press and hold it. You press it quickly, it'll take a picture. There you go. It just took a picture of a still picture. If you want the camera to turn on, to start recording, you press and hold it for 1 second.
Recording.
Okay, and it is recording. The format for the file is an MP4. That's with version 1.0 firmware. I did a firmware upgrade to version 1.0.2, thinking it would, it had a couple of minor bug fixes. It changed the format to a .mov, which I really don't want. I was kind of upset, I gotta be honest with you, I was kind of disappointed that they didn't say that in the firmware documentation, so I pulled it back and I reinstalled the version 1.0. So right now it's recording. To stop the recording,
Recording stopped.
press and hold for 1 second and it shuts it off. There is an auto off feature for the camera that you can use to turn the camera off without inactivity. And as I said, to turn the camera off now, it's not the jog dial you do to shut it off. You press and hold the camera button and the phone button.
Camera off.
The camera is now off, but the communicator is still on, which is pretty cool. Now they're saying that you have about an hour and a half of battery time with the camera. However, I was reading that when the battery level hits 20%, it'll automatically shut the camera down and give you about 2 hours of communicator life. Now that's big for me because when I go on an all-day ride, I don't want to have my 10C communicator part die on me. You can charge it on the fly, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. The cord that they give you is different than the cord for the 20S, and I think for me that's one of its disadvantages. But anyway, right now the communicator is still working. Turn it back on, press and hold. Camera on. Camera off. There's also a video tagging feature, which is kind of cool. You press and hold this for 3 seconds, and it'll go into tagging mode. It'll capture the previous 60 seconds, and I believe the next 60 seconds. I have to double check on that. But that's pretty cool. If as long as the camera's on, especially, it has to be in what's called tagging mode, and it'll capture if there's something that happens on the road that you weren't recording. It will kind of allocate space on the SD card, the micro SD card, to pick up that video. So that's pretty much it. It's very simple to use. What I don't like is that when you're going through configuring this thing, you have to tap all sorts of crazy, configuration menus. What I liked about the Prism was its display, and I kind of wish they would have incorporated that. It's not must-have, because the Sena app is excellent for settings for the Sena 10C. It's excellent for that. What I wish they had on the app was a preview and a playback, which is what they have on the GoPro app, and I think that's where GoPro really edges them out as far as the app goes. But as far as changing all the settings, the Vox phone, audio boost, Vox Intercom, photo mode, video mode, resolution, what you're able to record music, FM radio, intercom, and phone calls through the 10C, and you can turn one or all of them off, and that does work very well. I'm going to do that on the test ride and see how it goes. So let's put this on and go for a quick ride. All in all, Sena has done a great job with the 10C. Think about it. It's a camera and a Bluetooth system all in one, and it does a really good job. Here are some of the positive things. It's a very compact design that is super lightweight. Love the rotatable lens. If you are a Sena person, if you have had Sena Bluetooth products before, you will find that everything is super familiar. Everything is exactly where you would expect it to be. It is also Bluetooth 4.0. It comes with two types of microphones, both boom and wired. I love that you're able to record anything that comes through the 10C speakers. Music, radio, intercom, phone calls. And I really, really like the voice prompts that it gives you. But there's also places that Sena can improve their product. There's no 60 frames per second at 1080p. This is an area where they really need to up their game as far as video quality. It's great that you can charge the unit while you're riding, but the cables that they give you, they're just too short to use on a motorcycle. On the contrary, the one that came with the 20S is much, much longer. The 20S charging system will work perfectly with the 10C. I'm wondering why they didn't include that one. The jog dial that the 10C uses is a little too small in diameter and in depth. Still a great feature. However, I guess coming from the 20S, which has a better jog dial design, maybe I'm a bit spoiled. I think they should have kept that design and transferred it to the 10C. I really would like to see the 10C click in much like the 20S and no wires being exposed. The Sena app is amazing. It's great for setting all of the features of your Bluetooth and your camera. Doing so without the app is very clunky and it's very cumbersome. I'd like the app to have a preview feature so you can set up the angle of your camera, and a playback feature, much like GoPro has. I think that's what's holding it back to be the perfect app. So what do we have here? We have a solid option. For $350, you get a Bluetooth communicator that can also video. So at the end of the day, is the Sena 10C motorcycle Bluetooth communicator camera system right for you? That's up for you to decide. You're getting a pretty solid device. It does a really solid job of everything. If you consider the cost of a 20S and a GoPro Hero 4 Black Edition, and then of course you need the GP10 GoPro Sena back, you're talking over twice the price of this compact system. If you're looking to get into motovlogging or you just want to record your rides, this is the unit for you. If you're doing higher video quality than the 10C is able to provide, then you probably won't be happy. I think it's a great unit. I think it's a solid option for those of you who just want to buy one piece, who currently don't have an action camera or a communicator, and want to get it all in one shot and one and done. So there you go. That's my review on the Sena 10C. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you very much. See ya. As I said, there is no circuitry or anything here, a plug. So let's see if I can actually swing this in here. There it is. And you see right now I can do my rotation and lock it down.